Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Professor,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, thank you. So today I see only a few people. Okay, it's 20 now. Okay, it's good. Okay, and then let us start it. And today is October 29th. Yes. So we are on week 11th. We are doing file IO operation, and we are really in the last quarter of this course. Okay, in the last quarter of this course. So today lecture will be short. I don't need too much time because in my last lecture I discussed file IO operation, exception handling, and file IO operation. I'm sorry I forgot to upload the lecture video, but I just uploaded it and it will be available in a few minutes. I uploaded it already and it will be available in a few minutes. So I like everybody, please watch my previous lecture video. This one, that will be 18, lecture number 18 that we I discussed in last Tuesday. And in our last lecture, we discussed exception handling and file IO operation, right? File IO means file input output operations. So like we are familiar with stream, like input out, regular input output operation. So for our regular standard input device, we know that is keyboard, and standard output device is monitor. So in our regular or standard input output operation, we do take input using keyboard, using system.in. This is a system is a class actually, and in the stream. Okay, and then console in C# and system.in in Java. You know that. So that is for input, and for output we use system.out. This is stream, and then console we use in using C#. But there are also some additional methods, like we know we use in system.in, we use print or println method, and in Java and C# we use write line or write method. So those are for standard input output operations, but sometimes we need to do more than something like input output operation. We need to input something from, take some data from a database or a data file, or we need to write our output in a data file, or you need to send our data through a network in another computer, or to display in another monitor. So for different purposes, there are different methods and different classes. So we are familiar with this system.in for keyboard and display unit operation. But in this lecture module, we are discussing file IO operation. For any kind of input output operation in object-oriented programming languages, in modern languages, there are some built-in classes, and then it's called that built-in classes. So using those built-in classes, what do we need to do? We create a stream. It is called stream. That means a flow. Stream is a kind of flow, right? So data, when we pass data in a network, that is a flow. So like water, gas, or well, they flow through a pipeline. Okay, so similarly, our data passes like through a network. So when it get, so for networking we use a socket class. So when you take network class, then you will know that. But in this module, we will discuss how to do file input output operation. Okay, but if I have some time, then I can discuss how to display or print something using a real printer. in a real printer. Okay, that is more complicated. That is out of the context of this course, but I may have give you some idea. Okay, so in order to do file operation in both Java and C# have some predefined or built-in classes and methods. We need to know how to use those methods. That's it. Okay, so in both languages, file, when we handle file, like we handle in mainly in 3 different modes. Number 1 is we call read mode, that we only read from a data file. Okay, we get data from a data file. Then it is write mode, that means we send our output or some text or some data we write or in a data file, so that it saves in permanently. Or sometimes we do, mainly for database operation, we do CRUD operation, like we get some data and may edit or change or delete, and then we save that edited or modified updated data, the data file. So that is called, in programming file operation mode, that is called append mode. Append. So mainly said that in order to open a file, we must consider in which mode we are opening our data file. Mostly sometimes, for instance, file input stream is used to input, take data from a, so like for instance, whatever file name you will give over here. So the CSV file is comma separated version of an Excel like file. So we can, that can be used like a database record. When data are separated, each of the cell values is separated with comma. So for each of these operations, there are some like file input stream. This is a built-in class, and we are creating an object and we are passing the file name. And then the FIS, what does this do? This file input stream, just it creates or it opens a file. So how does a file open? For instance, whenever we open an MS Word file, right? So then it opens, we see the visually we see the content of a data file, right? When we open, for instance, when you open this PowerPoint file, we see the content here, but this file output stream, it will not open the file like that way. It will, so that all streams, what they do, they create a connection. The connection with what? So if you want to do input operations, okay, so then it will create a connection between your data file and your input device, or taking, or if you want to actually, let me go to another program to discuss this. Okay, so here maybe it is easy to discuss. So here in Java, the scanner file, this class is used to create a file. Okay, so Java, the file, it has a file, okay, file class that is used to do file IO operation, file handling, file opening file, creating file, deleting file, okay, or opening a directory or folder. And then the scanner class is used to, you see that this file, it's passed to the scanner class. So just to create a connection, to make a connection, okay? It does not open that file like we open the file in MS Word or Excel visually, directly. It opens the file, actually it does not open the file, it creates a flow or connection so that we can get data from this data file. Okay, it just make a stream. So maybe this is this can be more understanding if I go here in network. So you will learn that you have maybe you should have some idea about how we do make a phone call, or we connect data, we connect in a network computer, or when we browse a website. What happens? It gets a connection with my computer that is called workstation with a server, and then is a virtual connection is made. Whenever, like same thing like when you do a phone call, a virtual connection is made, and as long as the connection maintains, then we can talk or we can pass data. Similarly, this input stream, what it happens, okay, so it can make a connection from this data source file, okay, so that later we can read the data actual from that file without opening the file. Okay, so similarly, like for output stream operation, so there are some other classes that what we do, we so this is for in Java, C#, the write line to write in console mode. So whatever like this program, this kind of program they do, they read from the data file and they output, print the output on a standard output device like monitor. Okay, and then it is possible to print this in a printer. Okay, and then so another thing is that whenever we want to write something, okay, then it has another class. This for instance, the in C# and in Java, this is called file print writer. So what does it do? It creates a link between the data file, okay, and the output stream, so that whatever is our data or our output that are saved in a data file. Okay, so input stream is used to get input from a data file without opening the file, and output stream is used to make a connection or flow with the data file so that our data can be saved in a data file. While saving we can also simultaneously we can also display the content on monitor. Okay. So far in our last lecture, we discussed this. So has anyone any question from our last lecture? Okay, there are 28 people, including me, 27 people. So has anyone any questions? So please keep yourself unmuted. You can keep yourself unmuted. And by the way, we have maybe 3 more weeks. We will wrap up in 3 more weeks. So we want to make the remaining lectures online. So, but make this class interactive, please, and speak out. If you do not understand anything, please let me know. Okay, I will review or I will repeat.
I'm good.
You're good. Okay. So actually, so far we discussed how to do a file input and output operation. So yeah, one more thing that I'm giving you again. So that file, that stream, you see that in Java and C#, whatever the programming language is that we use stream class. So whenever you see stream class, just understand that stream class it is used to create a stream. That means a flow, a connection, a virtual connection, you may say, okay, between our standard input or output device and the data file, so that data can pass through that stream. And since we make a stream connection, right, a flow, okay, in order to pass or input or output data. So at the end of our file input output operation, we should close that stream. So you see that here input stream or output stream, whatever is created here, that is closed at the end. So usually in that is used in the finally block. So finally block, you will see that the close method. So in C#, close C is in uppercase, and likely in Java close C is in lowercase. So this close method, what does this do? It does not close, because as I mentioned that it does not really open the file, right? What it does, it makes flow, it makes a stream flow. It creates a flow or connection flow, right? So as long as the flow or connection or stream exists, we can pass data. And at the end of our operation, file operation, we need to close the input output stream or input stream. Okay, we are not closing the file. You see that in here, file, my file. This is the file object. We are not creating the file object. Okay, we are creating the either the file input or output stream. So in the past, you will get a question, test questions to write into a data file or to read from a data file. But in the past, I have some experience in grading a test that some student what they did, they close, instead of closing the file stream, okay, they close the file like input output. Instead of closing the input output, they close the file object. Okay, file object is not needed to be closed. We need to close the stream, that means the flow or the connection that is being established in order to make the data flow. So you understand? So if you are given a point that in one of the requirements to close the file, so that means you need to close what is over here. So you need to close the print writer here, and that used to write in a data file. Okay. So here you see the print writer object. Whenever we create this object, that means this object is being connected with this data file. And then we use println. That means this is now printing in a data file, in this data file, not in this println method. It is not printing on monitor. Although, so that we usually use println method to print on a monitor console, but here it will not print on monitor because this is the output stream over here is a what is called file output stream. Is not a standard input output stream. Okay, so the last section is only one thing, that is called binary files. So binary files is names like, for instance, other file. For instance, these are the file or txt file or text file, or you can open doc file. If you set doc over here, doc, then it will create a document file. Okay, no matter, then you can create Excel file, that we can create CSV file or regular data file. Okay, but sometime we need to handle or work with other kinds of files, like for instance, audio, video, or image files. So those files are called binary files. Okay, so handling and doing file image binary files are a little bit difficult. So you know that in computer memory, all the videos, audios, or the images are saved as bits, like array, as bytes, right? Like the pixel. So each pixel contains a byte. So we need to handle like primitive data types, especially for array operation, binary readers for array operations. So this is a little bit complicated, really complicated. Okay, so we have an example how to how to like writing a binary file in a like whatever extension is a bin extension is here in this in C# program. So I like you to practice this one, and then I see this is only in I have this is only in C#, but you can convert it in Java also. And then I have this program. Okay. Okay. So these are some tips how to good case. So one of the tips that I like you to remember that I discussed that whenever you open a file, do not forget to close that data file. So here even you see that I don't see that in this program. It forgets to close the file stream. So but over here it's close the file stream. Okay, so even sometimes we forget to close the data file. So why should be closed? We usually use a finally block to close the data file. Okay, so here in the finally block, one thing I need to mention that we say if is w not equal to null. That means as long as we have something to write, we will not close this data file stream. So after that means when our buffer or the stream is empty, everything is written in the data file, then we will close the data file. Similarly, here, so as long as the print streams is not equal to null, then that means when it is null, it's not equal to null. So then we will close this data file. Okay. Okay, and then okay, there is something really interesting thing. Okay, so this is a sample program for the test. You don't need it, but if you want to do like something, you want to know something new or advanced, then this program will show you how to find data, okay, from a web page, like from Google page. So Google page, you see that the socket is used to connect. So the socket, this class is used to connect a network link. So whenever we open something like, for instance, google.com. So how do we browse from a it's called website? It makes a virtual connection from my computer with the server, right? It makes a virtual connection with my computer with the server, and then we see that. So in this program, what it will do, it will create a virtual connection or stream with Google homepage, and Google homepage, it uses port 80 in your computer. In your computer, every computer has like an airport, okay, or is a big seaport. So it has many ports, okay. So but you just remember that for the Google website, it use port number 80. If you use another port, it will not work. Similarly, if you have an Angular project running in your local host, then you will use here localhost http://localhost, and then you use for Angular it is 4200. Okay, so that this port number will be changed or different based on the website it is running. So whenever you run this program, what it will do, it will get data from this website and it will display this content in we see the system, we write system.out.println. That means it will be printing or displaying the data in the monitor. Okay, So this is the Java version of this program, and the similar is C# version of this program. Okay, so I like to show you the output of this program. But has anyone any questions so far? Before I go to some live programs?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, you get a test question from this module. Okay, so please do some practice, and sometime actually for this content, for this module, sometime what I do, and I suggest you need to memorize some statements. You need to memorize some statement. Other than that is easy to, unless you write a lot of programs, practice a lot of programs. Sometimes you may need to memorize some codes. Okay, so it is okay, because sometimes I also do, but because I do file operation not very frequently, once a while, so sometimes I need to even see my code. Okay, and then let me show you some live codes. Okay, so this program, okay, this Java program, it will do what it will do. If we run this program, it will get output from the, it will take output from Google homepage. You see that a lot of outputs, because these outputs actually are coming from the underneath of this page. If you do right click on home page and see view page source, and then these are the content. Actually, these are the content. All of these contents are being displayed here. Okay, so this is why you see a lot of output. Okay, so even for instance, if I search something, so what is that? I am feeling lucky. You see that here. If I copy this one, and if I search over here, I should have this one. You see that I'm feeling lucky. So here, and this is the Java. So just for your reference, if you are interested in, then you can learn this. But this is this could be a homework for a networking course. Okay, not for this course actually. And I should have this one. Okay, let me send it to you. Okay. Okay, the test will be out. So we need one more week. So next week, by the end of next week. Sorry, last week I was not good. I was not feeling good, so I could not work on it. I will do this week mainly, and next week will be great. So this one, and I should have C#. I should have this one in C#. Okay, so one thing here is need that in order to run this program, we need to use really this flash method. What does this flash method? Sometimes we forget to use this flash method. It flashes the input stream. So every line it gets, and then it refreshes. It is okay. So don't forget to use this flash. Sometimes we do forget. And I'm giving you a link of this. Okay, so these are the regular program for regular file input output operation. Okay, so has anyone any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, then thank you. So I want to give you some extra, that I have a few more minutes, but I want a few more minutes to spend. Okay, so if you get source code from my book, okay, so chapter number 15. Okay, this is my book chapter. And this is my book, and then if you go chapter number 15. So it has some programs. So it has program, for instance, print test example 1, print service example 2, and print service example 3. You can try if this program works. Okay. This program. Okay. But this will not be in your test. Just I'm giving you some heads up. Some of you may have a curiosity to learn how to print something from a data file. Okay. So for instance, this program, what it will do, if there exists a test file, test.pdf file in this folder, it needs to have a test.pdf file in the source folder, src folder. So let me see if I do have this test file. So long time ago I didn't work on it. SRC folder. Okay, so sorry, I don't have here any. So any test.pdf file, if you have, just put a test.pdf file. Okay, so then if you run this program, what it will do, and if you have a printer set up, then if you run this program, and it will print the content of this file in a printer. So in order to do this, you need to have your printer set up, installed, and then then it will print it. Okay, so if you are interested in, then you can run this program or practice some of this, then you will learn how to print actually something in a printer. Mainly this one, print test example, this one, this printer, this program. Okay, so you can print something using. So the codes are here. So yeah. Okay, so if you are interested in, then you can try it. Otherwise, it is not needed for the test or for this course. It is not needed. Okay, so has anyone any questions so far?
No.
Still 26 people. Okay, so now we have completed file input operation, file output operation, and next week. Okay, so by this time I think the last lecture, previous lecture should be uploaded. Okay, the previous lecture is last lecture is uploaded here. Okay, so please, if you are not present in the last lecture, so please watch this last lecture video and today's lecture video. I will upload it tonight. So you will get a test question from exception handling chapter, and especially that I discussed that you will for sure get some question, interview question from exception handling chapter. Okay, you may not get any interview question for file input and output operation, but very simple question they may ask: why do you need to close a data file? On what is the file stream, what is input stream, what is output stream, what they actually do. This kind of question you may ask. But okay, so we have done this, and we have next week we will discuss threading and multi-threading programming and parallel processing. Okay, actually we have completed regular like content of this course, but in our first year experience program is developed with some advanced course content like threading and multi-threading. We will just give you some heads up about this, but these are the really content for the for advanced level courses in computer science, but we will give you some idea. So after next week, then we will have only one more module, data structure. Okay, if you don't have any question, then good luck for everybody and thank you. And by the way, so our next 2 weeks or 3 more weeks, we will have online only. Okay, so in face-to-face, so time will be changed this week. So actually, I'm not feeling comfortable in campus, staying in campus at night time. Okay, we will be meeting online only. Okay, from next week. Okay, thank you so much, and you have a good evening.
Thank you, Professor.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.